$100,000 value. Said $87,000 is the principal owed, and they're current, right?
Yeah.
And this is the value. And how much were the payments on this?
What'd we say?
Eight-
$847.
Let's just say 850 bucks. Keep
Yeah.
it nice
Yeah.
round numbers. Okay, that's the payment. And was that with principal? Was that with taxes and insurance?
Yeah, PITI.
So with taxes and insurance, all we can do is guess. And this is the house that's in Mayberry, right? Okay, because it's in
Yep.
Fantasyland. Okay, so let's say the taxes and the insurance on this house are, I don't know, $150 a month. All right, just to pick a number.
Okay.
So that brings my payment down to $700.
Okay.
Now, do we know how long this guy's lived in this house?
Yeah, somewhere around 6-7 years.
All right, so I'm going to say 6 to 7 years. I think he's going to have to be in there longer. When he bought the property, you know about how much money he might have put down? Was it 5% or something like that, or just the minimal, or he put down 10 grand?
He bought it for $97,000 with a 3% down payment. First time home buyers.
Wow. All right. So let's see something here. Let's see if we can make this work.
Should we get the whiteboard out, Coach?
Yeah, maybe in a minute.
Okay.
Hang on. Before I make a complete ass out of myself here. Wait a minute. So I'm actually gonna take these numbers. I'm gonna back into them. You've done that, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So let's see.
I like looking at things different ways.
Let's see if I can back into this deal. Okay. So he signed a 30-year note. All right. And his interest rate was probably, let's say, he got the house.
It's close to 8.
Nah, it wouldn't be that high. 6 or 7 years ago, it was probably somewhere around 4.5, 5.
Okay, yeah, probably 5.
Let's say 4.5%.
Okay,
I'll make more money on it. 4.5 is the interest. Payments per up. Screwed up already. Interest per year, 4.5. I gotta get used to this calculator.
What is it, a Casio?
No, it's one of these online ones. 10 BII. 10 BII. It's called.
I have a really nice Sharp.
Yeah. Well, can you? Yeah. All right. Well, when I do these, and I do lots of them, I just use factors. So you take $1,000 and work a factor in, and you back the numbers in. It's easier that way. But with this, we're dealing in fantasy land. So indulge me 5 minutes, guys. If I can make this thing, the numbers go backwards, it'll be a good lesson.
Okay.
So let's just see. All right.
Yeah.
So we got $850 is the payment. He borrowed $97,000. That's the principal. And the interest rate was 4.5. Okay. So
are you calculating
4.5
principal pay
interest
down
per year? Yeah, I want to see. This guy's in the. If your numbers are what you say, if you paid this house down to 90 to 87,000, all right, he's in this house 95 months. Think about it. In the beginning of the loan, he's paying all interest. So in order for the numbers to work, for this to be real, if he paid down, God Almighty, he paid down $10,000 on this thing. Okay, you can figure it out on your calculator. That possibly, if he paid this thing down $10,000 according to the calculator, he's already been in the house 95.17 months.
So
why don't we use those numbers for a minute?
About 8 years.
Yeah. So let's leave it like that. All right.
Yeah.
Let's leave it like that.
So I was close. What I say, 6 or 7 or 7?
He said 6 or 7. So let's say it's 90.
So it's 8.
95 months. I want an exact number. All right.
Okay.
95 months. All right. So now you took this house this morning and you made a lease option out of it.
Yeah.
So we want to get out your whiteboard. Go ahead. Okay. $100,000 is the value.
Okay, hold on a second. Give me 1 second.
I suck at using that thing. Forget it. $100,000 is the value, and we've got 87,000 is the loan balance, and the payment we said was $700 a month. Oh, I don't know if I did that right. Hang on a moment. Let me do this. It might even be less than that. Hang on. Yeah, it is. Payment 700. He borrowed 97,000. And we said it was 4.5 interest. How many months have I got left? He's even further out into this thing because I said he was paying 850. He's 111 payments out into this thing, which is even better. Just say 112 payments. So he's 112 payments. This doesn't lie. All
112
right.
payments left.
He's got 112. He's already made the 112th payment.
Oh, okay. He's already
All
made
right.
112 payments.
That's it. So now we're at calculator. Dun, 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 dun. This is going to work out. All right.
Okay.
So he signed a 360 month contract.
Yep.
All right. And he's 112 months into it. So we have 248 payments left. All right. So now I'm going to say I want to get this deal, and all he wants is out of this property. Instead of talking about lease options and holding the guy's hand for all that, if he's willing to sell me the property for what it's worth, and I can talk him into a seller, they're doing a subject to deal. We haven't even talked about giving the guy any money yet. Let's just leave the deal on the table the way it is. So we got $100,000 property, $87,000 is the loan balance. The monthly payment, principal and interest, is $700. And I think you said the rental area, the rents in that area were $1,200 a month.
Yes.
You want to put that on there.
Okay.
So rents are $1,200 a month. Now, when I sell a property and I finance it, and I'm going to be in the market, I'm going to be the guy holding the note forever and ever and ever. I sell my single family homes like a commercial guy would sell a commercial piece of property. He's going to base it on what the income is going to bring in. I don't give a damn what the house is worth. The $100,000 doesn't make any difference to me. I care about one thing, really. The most thing is going to be, how much have I got to spend on this thing? How much cash have I going to have tied up? And right now I got nothing. I'm assuming the house doesn't need any kind of work. It's inhabitable the way it is. So my only thing is, how much are the rents? $1,200. So I'm going to take that number for $1,200, and that's probably the most important thing on there. All right. So now I can probably go with taxes and insurance. I can probably go $1,300. All right. Let's just add another $100 to the top of this thing, and say $1,300 is my max payment to my tenant, to my buyer. I'm sorry. All right. So now let's figure this out. All right. Oh, I don't want to turn the phone off. I'm going to lose you. All right. So I'm going to go back to the calculator. And let's see here. We clear everything out of this damn thing. Give me a second, guys. Okay. So I'm going to start with a payment that we said it was about $150 a month with the taxes and insurance on this property. And we're going to say we're at 13. So that brings me down to $1,150 a month. Now, what do you want to collect? You want to collect interest or you want to collect principal? Think about that a second. All right. If I go ahead and I put the guy in an interest rate, 10, 12%, he's going to look to go ahead and refinance down the road as soon as he can. All right. Or he's going to default. If I raise the price up on this thing and I don't go too crazy, right? In 5 years, 8 years with a good interest rate, then maybe he'll go and refinance it. Maybe he'll just say to hell with it. I got a great interest rate on this deal.
Okay.
And by great, I'm not talking about what the bank are. What he can now we're going to sell this property to what we call a penalty box buyer. That's what Eddie Speed calls it, a penalty box buyer. Penalty, like you're in the penalty box buyer. All right, that's a person who can afford it, who's got the income, who's got a down payment, but is not going to be able to qualify for bank financing. Who is that? Man, it's probably more than half the people wandering around today that are renting that would love to own a house, right? So let's go and see what we can sell this house for. Let's say we're going to pick an interest rate and it's going to be 8%. That's like the middle of the road. The deals that I do are all 10. And now I don't write 30-year mortgages anymore. I write 40-year mortgages. I want cash flow forever. So the example I'm going to write down here tonight is going to be a 40-year mortgage at 8%. And let's see what it comes out to be when we plug in the payment. Anybody want to guess how much we're borrowing? 8%, 40 years. Anybody got a guess? Nobody use a calculator there now. I got that. I got that. I know that guy.
Man.
I know him. He's sitting there scratching his head. I know. All right, let's
My
do the number. What's
my my Casio doesn't do that.
All right, let's do this. All right, so we got.
Is that a scientific calculator, Coach Steve?
Yeah, this is a program off the net, 10BII or something like that. It does a good job. All right, so now months we're going to leave out. No, we're going to say it's 40. So 40, 12, 20, but there's 480 months. We're going to say it's 8% interest. And we're going to say the payment is going to be $1,150. And how much can we borrow? How about $165,000?
Say that again.
Anybody want to?
Say it
Okay.
again.
40 years.
Okay. At $1,150 a month.
$1,150 a month times 8% interest
Okay.
for 40 years gives you 165, 393, 45. 165,000.
Okay.
Now let's go back a second. Let's look. Now let's take the same numbers and let's just say for 30 years. All right. Let's just say it's 360 months. The payment becomes $1,213.60.
Okay. That's still reasonable.
Now we can play with the number. We can say I'm still going to do 360 months and compute the principal. I gotta put the whole thing in all over.
360 months is 30 years, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Give me a second, guys. Okay, so 360 months, 8% interest, and the payment's $1,150. So now we're borrowing instead of what would we say 165? Now we're down to 156. Everything you got in that last 10 years is basically all interest because you're stretching the count, you're stretching it out. All right. So we do a 30-year deal. It's 156 and the payments are 1150 a month. Now, how much money? 1150 times 12. Well, this. Oh no, I just left it. Oh no. Hold on a second, boys. $1,150 times 12. It's 23. 1150 times 12. $13,800 a year times 10 years. $138,000 difference in gross receipts, gross money for going from a 30-year mortgage to a 40-year mortgage. See how the banks have the gold chandeliers and all the marble? That's how, man. All right. When you learn how to do this and pack your own bank, you become dangerous because
So
you
this,
can do any deal that comes down the pipe.
so this is starting doing this deal subject to with the seller, and then owner financing it out to my potential buyer.
Right. So now here's what we
Okay.
got. We have the 1150 per month. We got to go back and we have revenue. We haven't talked about profit yet.
Right.
Okay. So I think you said that his net number was $700 a month.
The
So if we just
750. No,
750, I got 700 there.
no, it was 850
It was 850.
with
Right.
PITI.
Right. So we're gonna the taxes and insurance we're gonna bill the buyer, and he's gonna pay that to us in escrow. We'll get 1/12 of that every month, and he's gonna pay the servicer. I don't do it. I pay a servicer, outside guy. Stay as far away from this deal as you can. You're just an independent guy. I don't know nothing.
So is
So
that in addition to the 1150?
whatever, when you hire a servicer, they pay for it, and you put it right inside your contract.
So that would put his basically my buyer's PITI to 1300 plus the service fee.
Yeah, it's $35.
So 1335. And that's our maximum was 1300, so we're right there in that ballpark.
And he hasn't made a down payment yet. We didn't even talk about that.
$1,200 a month fair market rent. Yes, he has not made a down payment. That is
So now
correct.
let's talk about the profit on this thing.
Okay.
You came up with how much this morning? 40,000?
$43,000 in profits on
Okay.
a sandwich lease option.
Okay. So now, depending on how ridiculous we're going to get with this thing, all right, we could sell this house on paper. Okay. Most people, most people that are what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, Penalty box buyers. All right. They're going to shop price, but
Okay.
they're really looking for payment. If people in
Exactly.
this country shop price all the time, you wouldn't have to have that nice 7 Series BMW shoot across your screen on a commercial, and they tell you can lease this car for $895 a month with $3,000 down. They don't tell
Right.
you this animal is $104,000 to buy, and it's $8,000. When you want to go turn it in or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't tell you those numbers. All right.
Exactly.
So now this is a house, and people understand that it's supposed to be the biggest expense that they're ever going to have. So I like to keep, and I want them to make sure it's the biggest expense they're ever going to have. I want them to be, whatever. I want them to fulfill their obligation. So let's look at this a second. If we're going to sell this house, we can take it easy on them. We can relax the numbers. Let's look at this as being the maximum. All right, the maximum. You're going to hold this note forever for the 30 or 40 years. On a
Okay.
30-year deal, okay, which is on the bottom, we can sell that house for 156 plus the down payment. Let's say you only get $10,000 down. Who cares? I get $10,000 down. So I'm going to sell a house for $166,000. My basis in the house is $87,000. You're probably gonna you got a legal cost. You got putting it through. You probably got about 92 grand. Say 92,000, right? And you put in what you got 166 on the back end. So just there alone.
You lost me a little bit, Coach Steve.
Okay, all right. You got 150. We're gonna sell a house for a maximum of 156.
Oh.
You're not gonna get more than that. A maximum. You might only get 126 for it. But let's say if we're going to use these numbers, the maximum we're going to get on a 30-year deal is 156,000 on a loan.
Okay.
Right? We need a down payment. Let's just say he gives us 10 grand.
Okay.
All right. So that gives a new sale price of 166.
Okay.
Got it? Got it?
No.
156 in a loan. Look on the bottom line.
Yeah, 156.
156. All right.
Okay.
That's what we're able to borrow. 156, right? And we're going to that's the loan amount. It's beginning loan amount.
Okay.
And we got 10.
That's where I'm confused, Coach. Because the property value today is 100,
Don't
right?
look at
so
it. Forget it. I'm not talking about that.
This is the total amount we would expect to make over the 30 years. So,
That's what. Nope.
or that's
That's
the
what
total
you.
revenue over the
That's
30
nope.
years.
It's not even that. You want to see the total revenue? All right, you ready?
Yeah,
Hold on to your hat.
please do.
$1,150.
Okay.
Clear this. 1,150 times 360. Total revenue is $414,360. How much crazy do you want to get? The 156 you see there is how much money you're going to extend in a loan in the beginning.
Okay.
All right. So you got 156. Forget about the value of the house for a minute. I'm selling payments. I'm a bank. I'm selling payments.
Okay.
Mr. Customer, you can get it. I can get you in this house with $10,000 down, and your payments are going to be what we say it was going to be on. Well, it was $1,150 and taxes and insurance, $1,300 a month, forever, for the next 30 years. Never going to go up unless your taxes or insurance go up. That's it. You're locked, and you can own this house. Your name's on the deed. Hip hip hooray! Sign here. $10,000 down. You want to make it easy for them to get in the doorway. You want to do this in a non-judicial state. So worst comes to worst, you can get the house back fairly quickly if you have to. All right.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
now let's look at our numbers. How much money are we going to make on this damn thing? All right. Up front. All right. You got 156,000 plus 10 is 166. Minus, we said 92,000 in our base. So we had 87,000. We got some legal costs, nonsense, blah, 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 blah. So we're at 166 minus 92. Hold on, guy. 166 minus 92. So we're at $74,000. Okay. So that's our upfront payment. That's how much money we're going to make on paper when we contract this deal. Everybody got that so far?
Okay.
All right. Now,
Hey, Steve, how did you get that again?
okay. We take the beginning. We take the. We're going to take how much money we're selling a house for. We're going to sell a house for 166, get $10,000 down, and borrow one. And we're going to write a contract, a finance contract, mortgage note for 156,000. This is the maximum, guys. Don't get crazy about this, all right? But I just want to show you the power of interest, all right? So that's that one side. So we got 166. Now we're buying the house for the whatever's left on the mortgage, which was 87,000. 87,000. We're going to have some closing costs and this and that. So I says, you know what? We're at 87. We'll just bump it up to 92 grand. So we should be good, right? So we're at 92,000. We take away that we have the 166 that we sold it for. We had the 92,000, which is our base, including the first mortgage, which drops us down to $74,000 in upfront markup profit. Everybody understand that? Justin,
Yes.
you're looking at deer in the headlights.
No, I'm following you.
Okay. So
Yep.
forget now. That's got nothing to do with finance. 166, which is how much we're borrowing, minus the $92,000
Yeah.
that we put what we purchased the price for, and then our ups gives us 74 grand. Okay. Now we're going to finance this house. Let's just say it's 30 years. We're going to take the bottom one that says 156. This is profits plus 10 minus 92 equals 74. Good. Now we got to figure out how much we're going to really make on this deal. Okay. So now we can take the whole thing. The easiest way to figure this is $1,150 times 360 payments. All right. Hang on. 1,150 times 360 equals $414,000. That's total, right? To really break this number down correctly, all right, we need to go out and say we have a cost in this, and it's from our first mortgage, which is the subject to deal. And we said that mortgage was going for that one had a balance of 87,000. and the payments on that were $700 a month. And it had how many years left on it? Did I say it was?
Yeah, it has
it had 112 payments.
248 payments left.
All right. So we're gonna take 700 times 248. Hang on, boys. Clear. 700 times 248. It's $173,600. That's what we're going to pay our friend that's holding the first mortgage that we took over subject to. We're going to pay the bank $173,000 if we keep this note for the balance of the 248 payments. All right. So now on those 248 payments, we are. Let's figure the spread on it because it'll be easier to do. We're going to figure we have 100. Hang on. 240, 248. I said right. So 248 payments. We're selling the mortgage payment on this says 1150, which is the principal and interest. 1150. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. Hang on. 248 times 1150 equals. Hold on, boys. 248 payments times 1150. We brought in $285,200. 285,200. Okay. We're going to subtract 173,600. That's how much money we owe to First Bank. So in the first 248 months, 173,600.
What are we paying the homeowner bank? How much?
Total is 173,600.
Okay.
And we would have collected on those same total payments 285,200.
Okay.
And our net profit on that, on the first 248 payments, is 111,600. Then we have another 112 payments times what do we say
Right,
this payment was?
because the original mortgage will have been paid off at that point, and so now this becomes free and clear for the last.
Listen to you.
How many payments is free and clear?
112.
112 payments. Whew. Okay.
That only brings us up another 128,800. So now what do we make on this turkey? Plus 11,600. So in interest, we collected $240,400 above what we had to pay the First Bank. Plus we made $74,000 on the sale. We made part of it for being the bank, and we made a small part of it for, as in comparison with the numbers, we made a small amount having to do with the upfront sale. So we're going to take 240,400. Hold on a second, and we're going to add 74,000. And our new gross profit on that hunker junker house is $314,400. You didn't invest a dime. You have no money at risk. You did the deal subject to. You took someone who couldn't do a house, only put $10,000 down. You made that family happy, and you sold them a nice house, and you kept everything within the borderlines of the mortgage payment. You sold the house for more money. So I'd tell them, listen, 5 or 6 years, the house will probably be worth the money. This is what it is. If you can work the numbers, fine. If they don't work for you, the next guy will. Now, that's not selling the house for market value. I don't give a rat's behind what the market value is on any of my properties. If I'm going to hold the note, I sell a note according to what I can get with rent. I sell a note according to what I can collect as far as and be fair with the interest rate on it. My deals are all 10% in 40 years. You want to blow the numbers out. You figure out a 40-year deal on this. Just leave it at 8%. You're talking about another. Just add the number. It'll blow your mind. It's over another $100,000. So what do you do with these deals? You're going to hold on to them for 40 years? No, you're going to discount them and probably sell them to an investor that just wants long-term passive income. I hold them because I'm at that part in my life where I like long-term passive income. But how many of these do you have to do to pay the piper?
It's pretty
That's one deal.
It's pretty amazing.
That's one deal. All right.
On $100,000 value too. That's amazing.
And we get and we could have given them the $100,000 for the house.
Nick, you got your hand up, sir.
Does
I
he?
mean, so question on like if this if there is no comparative market rent and you can't find that there isn't a market rent value enough to go by to say that it's 12 to 1,300 a month max rent. What would you do at that point, especially if the market is small?
Is it? Well, I probably wouldn't buy it.
Okay, so then in this case it would be either a
It's
if
in a
you
neighborhood. I buy in established neighborhoods where they've already got the sewer lines in, they've already got the water lines in. There's no, it's just an established neighborhood. There's no new housing going up, but they're not in shotgun areas. All right. I buy, just from a D to a C kind of a house. And that's what I look to sell or finance. Because I can pop them out all day long. Right now, that same house, that D house, that C house that I was buying for $70,000-$80,000 a year ago, now is $150,000. So I mean, we got to wait for the market to come back down. So, but what do you think about this, guys?
Well, that's pretty cool, man. It's very much, and it makes sense that you're going by the rental, because that's what's basing. It doesn't matter what the value of the house is because it's based on what people can pay for rent is what the mortgage is going to be based on, and that
They're going to look at how much is their cash flow.
That's smart.
How much have I invested, and how much is my cash flow? Well, with us, our return on investment is infinite. So we haven't invested any money. It's maybe $4 or $5 for closing costs. All right, on this particular deal, and this is a pretty far-fetched deal.
So,
all right, but it could happen.
So, Coach Steve, the 156,000 purchase price, or actually, I'm sorry, 166,000 because they're going to put 10,000 down, right? So,
Yep.
So 166,000. You figured that up by working what the fair market rent or what your buyer's payment would be times the 8% times the 30 years.
Here's
That's
what
how you establish the purchase price for your buyer.
Yeah, I do a couple of things. I look and see what the fair market rents are in the area, right? And I usually take away the taxes and insurance. So if this area was $1,350, then I know it's $150 a month for taxes and insurance. Then I'm looking at a net rent payment of $1,200. I open up my calculator and I punch the numbers in. 8% interest, 30-year deal, $1,200 a month in rent. How much can I borrow? Boom, and it tells me right there. And now I know I've got a starting number for a loan. Now, if I collect $20,000 on it, I collect $30,000 on it, whatever. Every person you're going to talk to, the numbers are going to be different. So it doesn't make any difference. Go ahead, sir.
The magic here is that you're taking a property subject to the loan balance is $87,000 at 4.5%. It's already been paid on for 8 years, so a bunch of the interest has been paid on it, and then you're going to turn around, flip that deal to your buyer, your penalty box buyer, and they're going to put $10K down, and you're going to finance it at 8% for 30 or 40 more years, and which totally dwarfs what you owe the seller. right? So
God bless America.
a beautiful sandwich here where it's much heavier on the buyer side.
There's no sandwich because we're selling it. The title's not. We don't want the title on it. We're building a bank.
So
Now
so
you're
we go on
building.
as a lien holder
That's
mortgage,
it. That's it. I don't want to own the house. I don't
and
want
the,
my name anywhere near this damn thing.
and the title company does this. And how much does it cost for a buyer to close and get set up on paperwork and all that with the title company and everything that needs to be done here?
It's a few things you got to worry about. Not worry about, but you got to make sure that they get put through the mortgage loan originator, the RMLO. That can cost anywhere between $400 and $800, depending on what part of the country you're in. And if you're going to give them, I don't give title insurance. I just bought this house. I got title insurance on it. I know it's good. If they want it, they don't care about it. They're not going to buy it. So I don't give title insurance. So your rest of your stuff is just dock costs and paying an attorney to close it. And I use attorneys to close everything.
Probably no appraisals, no inspections,
Who am I
no.
going to appraise it for? Who am I going to inspect it for?
Nobody's going to do any of the traditional things like a realtor would
Well,
want.
some people would want to come in and inspect it. And they say they're going to do it, but they don't do it. So, you're going to have in some states, the mold and the termite inspections and all that. Okay, I'll do all that. You know what? I'll even pay for it. $75 for this, $100 for that certificate. It's nickel and dime. I want to make it so easy for this person to get into this property, and I want them to be. They've $10,000 on this deal is really nothing. Just guys know that. Normally, I get at least 10% down, so you're talking 15, 16 grand. So, but we just did it with 10 to make the numbers really ridiculous. So, but you can build this out any which way you want. Bring a deal like this to the table, and I'll show you how to make real money with it.
Coach Nick says you could sell it if you want to after 2 years as a seasoned loan.
Yes and no. You can sell it as a season loan if he pays off the subject to.
Right. That's going to be paid off first.
So now let's make believe for a second this isn't a subject to deal. This guy's selling a house. He's just selling a house. And instead of paying him $100,000 for it, you can get this deal for $87,000. All in. 87 grand. I'm not taking money out of my pocket. I'm going to go bring in a private lender. And I'll bring in a private lender for 7 or 8%, something like that. I might make the deal. I might take the retail number on the back and make it 10% and play around with the term a little bit, stretch it out so his payments are still in the ballpark. All right. This can be a seller finance deal where the seller wants to hold the note in the mortgage for a period of time. This can be an all cash deal where you're going to bring in a lender, or rather a private lender, and do it. It can be a subject to deal. Any of those three and more. Use your imagination.
The only thing I had a question on was because I know if it was a sandwich and they paid 156 and they paid 10 down, it's 146. So where does the 156 to 166? How does that? If you're advertising the 156 as the sales price,
I'm not advertising a 156.
Oh,
I'm not advertising anything.
Okay.
I might just say, listen, you can get in this house at 123 Main Street, and the mortgage payments. Well, you can own this house for as low as $10,000 down and $1,400 a month. Call this number.
I gotcha. And then whatever they have down there, you're just adding it to. Okay.
Or I can say I'm seller financing the house. Homes available with real seller financing. And here's an opportunity for a good person with a large down payment to own a house.
Man, I want one of these in my self-directed, dude. That's like my goal for this year.
Yeah.
Was to get one like that.
There you go. Shouldn't be too hard.
No, I screwed up on because I tried doing it in a small market, and that's where it was throwing me off. The down payment was everything. The monthly, it just didn't work because they just didn't have it, and there wasn't anything I could go off. But I I got a lot of stuff working out here in the small pockets of Texas. So I'm hoping one of
Where I
those.
want to buy and hold money and I want to invest for a long time are in established, mature neighborhoods.
Right.
That's not stuff that just got thrown up by a developer. I don't want that shit. I'll flip the contracts in there. But I want to be in the neighborhood where the homes are 15, 20, 30, 40 years old.
Yeah.
That's where
Hey.
I want to be.
Yeah. Yeah. That's nice, dude.
So the numbers, Steve, the numbers doesn't get disclosed to the end buyer?
Everybody does. But I'm just advertising right now. He was just talking about advertising. But of
Right.
course, you're going to disclose the numbers, and they're not going to shake. You're offering them the ability to buy a house.
Yeah. It's like if you
It's the American dream.
Yeah, it's like you think of it in terms of like you do the lease options where you advertise your price and then you deduct that, but you have to know what your built-in down payment is. The only difference he's doing is that he's not advertising, and they're saying, "Well, I've got 20% down or I've got 15% down." Okay, well then we
Okay,
can.
well, let's sit down and work the numbers out, and
Yeah.
let me see what I can sell you this house for.
Yeah, I like that.
Let me see what I can sell you this house for. You really like it? Are you sure you really like it? I didn't hear you. You sure you really like it? Yeah. It works, man. It works all the time. Works all the time. And if you start advertising like this, you're gonna get your phone will ring off the hook, and you're gonna get probably 88 to 90% of the people that call you couldn't afford a dime in the donut shop. But they're dreamers. Oh, I need a down payment. Well, I got $250. No, see you next. Then you get the person that says, "Well, what do you want for cash? Because I'm coming into some money." But when are you coming into it? Well, in about 6 months. Well, I could sell you the house now on paper, and in 6 months you just pay it off. Oh, that sounds good. I did one of those. It was an incredible deal. I did one, and I made a lot of money on it. And the person loved the house. That's it. When you start talking about MLS, you're talking about realtors, talking about going to banks. They've all got their plan, and they've all got their rules and regulations when it comes down to, what it is they can sell a house for, fair market value, MLS. I don't get involved with all that. I create my own market, as scary as it is. I'm going to bring a guy on this call on a Monday. We're going to hype it up. We're probably going to do it in September. You listen to this guy; he's going to blow your mind. That's all he does.
Is it Mitch?
Yeah. All he does, he's a good friend. All he does is this seller financing. I'll even see if I can get his partner to come in with him also. He's wild. The two guys are great guys. Yeah.
Coach Steve, we have a question on YouTube. Someone in Broward County, Florida, wants to know what attorney you use to close a deal like that for you.
In Florida?
Broward County, Florida.
I don't know anybody in Broward County, Florida. That's too expensive for me. Everything there's got an extra zero on it. I don't have anybody in Broward County, but if you want to find a realtor that can just do notes and stuff like that, just go to your rear. Go to your rear and pick up an attorney there. I like hiring commercial attorneys. They know the residential side, but they're used to thinking outside the box a lot more than Joe, who just does, deals with his local title company. It's black and white and that's it. No, I like dealing with guys that have a lot of experience in commercial finance, and they're not afraid to make things move. Who else? Anybody else got a question before we start opening it up to everybody? This took an awful long time, man.
That was great, though, Coach Steve. Awesome.
What's that? Yeah. We got to do this during the day. You'll blow everybody's mind.
Hervik, I'm sorry I interrupted you, dude.
No, it's cool. I second what Justin said, definitely. My question to you, Steve, is there would you go after? I know you're saying you market it in a potentially or in established neighborhoods, but is there are you looking for medium price range houses? I know you said that Broward might be maybe too expensive, so that's kind of what triggered that question.
Well, let's go look at Broward for a second. All right, and it depends what he's selling. What's the median price? Are you down in California? Are you down in Florida?
Yeah, I'm in Miami right now.
Okay, so I don't know. What's the average single family house sell for in Broward County? I don't know, 4,
You
5,
know-
600,000. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd assume probably in that range. Mhm.
If you're okay dealing with those numbers, do it. It doesn't matter. It's the more, like that guy, whatever, Legrand says, the more money the bigger the deals are you roll around, and the more money you make. Don't let the dollars, don't let the zeros, scare you. If you're comfortable in dealing in $500,000 and $600,000 houses, go for it. I live on Long Island, and up there you can't. The averages up there start around 500,000 now and go up. The numbers are off the wall. So I don't buy anything in New York per se, but it's the same thing. The big metros like the New York and Miami and Tampa and all, the numbers are going up. So, but I think they're going to come down. Are they going to come down as fast? I don't know. I wish I did know. So, but you can do the same thing, the same spread. You're just going to make more money.
What kind of situations are you
Ooh.
looking for? Foreclosures or something else?
I'm looking for people from Jersey and Pennsylvania that are broke. They just want to give me their house. That's where Vernon's from. Vernon, turn on your camera, man. Come on, bud. I can't answer your question until you turn your camera on. He's sitting in the John. Hey, listen, it is what it is. Now, Vernon, you look for people, you look for motivation. If the person has the least amount of equity they got, the higher the motivation level is. If the home's been on the market for a long time and it's expired a whole bunch of times on the MLS, that's my meat. I love that stuff. And when you talk to them, they're gonna listen. They want to hear what you have to say and what you can do and what what opportunities you can offer them. So, and a lot of times they just want payment relief. They just want payment relief.
Hey, Steve.
Yes, sir.
So we all, Justin and Claude and everybody teaches like the whole guts thing. I want to, if I can, what does it sound like to hearing the Steve in terms of
we're
doing?
not going there, baby. We're not going there. We're not
Is that-
going there. I'm going to tell you, my personality is more combative because I like to get things done. I don't have a lot of patience. And I spent years and years and years as a boss telling people what to do and training salespeople, training collectors, training, and all that. So for me to get on the telephone and start calling, it's not beneath me. Don't get me wrong. All right. I'm like everybody else on this call. All right. But it's tough. I'll be real nice. I'll listen to them. I'll take I punch the wall a couple of times, but in frustration, it does happen. But before I got on this call, I was on the phone. Someone called me from a card I had mailed out a while ago. Got to be 5-6 months ago. And they called me off this stupid yellow card. And I might take her house and trade. Get this, take her house and trade and lease option a house to her.
Wow.
How's that? It's a mobile home on a half an acre of property. It needs a lot of work. She says, I don't know. I don't care. I'm going to wind up owning it for nothing anyway. So I'll take your house and trade. Who else told you that? Oh, nobody. Well, there you go. Let's meet. Sounds cool, right?
He needs a place to live.
Everybody needs a place to live. In this house they can't live in, supposedly, it's got a lot of bad karma or something. I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? For every ass there's a seat, somebody's going to wind up with that house. Trust me. So what else, man? What else we got tonight? Thanks, Vernon. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, bud. You're the man. There he is.
Steve, if nobody else minds, unless somebody has questions or a property they want to run by you, I was on a call earlier where the guy's looking for payment relief.
Yep.
Yeah, he just got a job in Colorado, has a property in Smyrna, which is right outside of Atlanta.
Good.
And we were talking some numbers, although what he was wanting for it was 6 something. And after I was looking around online, I suspect it's worth like 525, something like that.
What does he owe on it?
He didn't want to tell me, but he does have a mortgage on it. When I looked at it on PropStream, I just had it up a little while ago. He owes he got a mortgage on it in 2017 for 265,000.
It probably owes 250 or so. What does it say?
It says
What's the
estimated loan balance 212,550.
200. And when did he get it? In 17?
Yeah, it's 180 a year or 180 payments.
How much did he borrow?
He borrowed 265.
How the hell is that possible?
265 for 180 months, and he's got a payment of 19.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, whatever. So he owes 100 what? 150,000, something like that. 100. How much? 120.
It says the estimated loan balance is 212,500.
Okay. So, and he borrowed how much to?
To buy it, 265.
No, he borrowed 265.
Oh, yeah, that's what it says. The loan amount is 265.
265. Okay. So what's the guy asking for the house?
In his initial text, he was like at 600 and some change.
600,000.
Yeah.
What's the value on a property there on Zoom is what? How much?
Oh, from what I'm thinking, yeah, no, Zillow said it was 700 something, but I got access to the MLS in Atlanta. I was looking at some good comps, and I'm thinking it's at about 525. PropStream thought it was 465 or something like that. Comps I was looking at tells me that it's worth like 525, I think.
Wow, 525. And how much can you nail him down for? This isn't something, I don't know. I got to sit down if you can do a deal subject to, and give him do a deal subject to what he's got existing. Take out a second note, give it to him for a second mortgage, and balloon it in 3 or 4 or 5 years. That gives you some time to move the thing around, or do a lease option with him. Give him what he wants. Either way, you can give him what he wants.
Yeah, and
But if it's ridiculous, give yourself enough time where you got some breathing room. As ridiculous it is, stretch it out. Start in 15 years, you can always come backwards. Somebody's yelling on the phone. Gotta quiet that guy down. You can go out 15 years if you have to. If the numbers are just totally obscene, they'll catch up, and you'll sit back and renegotiate his second mortgage. Because all you're doing is putting off a negotiation. He's not going to wait 15 years for his equity, but he might do it now. But after he signs, 15 years is a long time.
Yeah.
That's one way to look at it. You could do a lease option. You could do a seller finance deal. Ask him what does he want to do?
I kind of told him, look, I don't think I'm your cash buyer because it's gonna be way lower than what you think you're gonna get. But would you be open to something creative? And his reply was yes. And I was like, I got into maybe a conversation I shouldn't have, because I started kind of telling him, okay, well, if seller finance goes this way, you're deeding the property over, lease option.
Don't do a seminar on the phone.
Yeah, I kind of slightly went into that conversation.
Don't do a seminar on the phone. Say, well, listen, if I give you all the cash, what are you going to do with it besides pay the IRS? Oh, is the house vacant? Yeah, you got the right insurance on it right now? You got the vacant property insurance? What? What's that? Well, if they break into the house, you don't have coverage. The house burns to the ground, you got no insurance. You got to have the right policy. Everybody should do that. That's a big, big, big plus. Most people don't know about that. Vacant property insurance. It's more expensive. The insurance company has a higher risk, and they cover the property just in case, vandals break in or whatever. That house is no longer owner occupied. You got to carry that type of insurance. And when you swing it over and you're going to rent it, you need landlord tenant insurance. So, all right. But that's where I go with that. You got two options. You got to have a conversation with the guy. Talk to him. Say, listen, I'm not. This might be a deal that I can do with it, but I'm not going to be able to go to my bank and get you anywhere as close to what we're looking at here. I could possibly maybe take over your payments on a thing, maybe give you a note for 5 years and just take over, and you won't have to make next month's mortgage payment. You got to see what his thing is. If he's making 2 mortgage payments or a mortgage payment, then he's paying rent on his next house or whatever it is. You got to ask those leading questions before you get there.
He's moving to Colorado, I think in January. He said he's got his job and he's just been working virtually, but he's gonna have to move over there eventually, which is January. He's still living in the subject property right now.
How long has it been up for sale?
He's I think I got him off of I got him like off a list I pulled. He hasn't even marketed the property. He hasn't put it up with a realtor or anything.
Wow, that's some list.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's some list. All
he might
right,
have
well,
on Zillow. I think he had it on Zillow himself. He put some pictures up.
so he might be trying to just to save himself some money. God knows whatever. He doesn't
No,
want to use a broker.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Steve. I take all that back. He does have a listing history on here. He took it off the market back in I think he just took it off the market July 2nd. He had it listed for $499
It expired.
after dropping the price. Yeah.
Probably expired, and he got sick of the broker. They're not doing anything for him. Now you got a guy that's getting motivated. You can do a deal with him, make it a soft deal, and say, I'll close on your terms. You want to be in here till November? I'll be in here till November. We can do a lease option, do it that way, where you really don't have a lot of money at risk. But if you buy this thing, and this market flips, and all of a sudden you own this thing for $100,000 more than it's worth, you're screwed. I wouldn't want to do that. So, right?
At all.
He's laughing. I'm serious.
I'm serious. Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to be.
That's a real. That's taking another seminar. You know. So if he wants to be in the property till October, November, whatever. Say, listen, that's great. We can contract now, and I'll start working on getting a good tenant buyer for your house, and we can make this deal happen, and you can stay here till November and move out. How's that sound? And now you don't worry about it. You make the mortgage payments, whatever it is, and come November 1st, it's on me. You can move out. And by that time, fella, you either shit or get off the pot. You either got somebody that's ready to move in, or you got the numbers just don't work at all. You know. So remember, when you figure out your numbers, you got to make a decent profit. Don't do this thing, for nothing. All right. Don't forget yourself. That's the first number you put on the page. How much of a markup you want to make. And you might look to hold this thing. If you can get a 5-year lease option, get a 5-year. Do it as long as you can. He wants to give you 10, you take 10. Okay, because it said the longer the deal goes, the more money he makes, because you're paying down his mortgage. You see?
Yeah, and when it comes to making those payments, how would I approach that? Am I making him just an interest payment, or I'm paying him, I guess, in a lease option, something close to what market rent is?
How about you don't pay him anything? You got a balloon payment in 5 years. You don't pay him anything. No payments, no interest, no nothing.
Oh,
Okay, you can give him what he wants for the house. Give him the number he wants for the house. And take that balloon payment and push it out as far as you can. 5 years might not be enough. They might not appreciate to that number. You might need 10, you might need 7. But when that goes out, if you got 7 or 8 or 9, even 5, right? He's going to want to, 5 is kind of short, but he's going to be calling you and, hey, listen, how you doing on that sale? Oh, it don't look too good, man. I had somebody, but they walked away. Why? What's on your mind? Oh, I could really use that money. Well, I'm coming into some cash. Yeah? Oh, yeah. Listen, I owe you, I don't know, $200,000, whatever. I don't know what the number is. But, if you want to make a deal, I know I can probably squeeze 100, 110, 115,000 out of this guy. In the settlement I got coming, if you want to turn it over. Oh, you think about it. You give me a call tomorrow. I got to go. Take care. You're going to get a phone call. You might not settle for that, but now you see you're opening up the negotiations down the road. Give him what he wants. Give him and the longer you've got that second mortgage note on there, the easier it's going to be for you to sit down and have them, open up negotiations and see what you can do to buy that note cheaper. And you make sure when you do your note, you get right of first refusal inside the note. That's a right of downer, everybody. Okay, because before he goes and he sells that note to your competition, and they're sitting there, drooling at the deal, he's got to offer it to you. So if he's going to offer it to somebody else for 86 cents on the dollar, and they're coming in the door, you got the first right of refusal. They got to come to you for it. Well, they got to sell it to you for the 86. That was worth the whole class here tonight. Anyways, what else, Harvick?
No, I think I caught, a lot of what you're saying. I mean, you're at some points, you have a lot of knowledge on this stuff. So it starts to sound like, foreign type of science. I don't know. Just when you say, I know what a right of first refusal is, but you're talking about the note. So say, right, I took over the mortgage, like you gave me that example, and then we did a note for how much more he wanted. Right. And so you're saying if he goes to sell that note inside our agreement,
sell your note, sell the personal note that he's holding, that second mortgage. If he decides he's going to sell that, all right, there's a face value on it of $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, whatever it is, that you're going to have inside that note, inside that mortgage. You're going to write that you have the right of first refusal if he goes and offers it for sale to buy. So he can go out and work his tail off, but he's got to notify you within that time frame that's inside whatever rules are you set these to. They usually take attorneys' heads and spin them off their shoulders. They've never seen this before, but I love doing that. So now he's offering it to this guy at a 19% discount. So why wouldn't I want to buy that note? Maybe I'll buy it. Maybe I won't. But that gives you now at least you know who your new lender's going to be, right? Sure. And it's going to be a big discount because you're not paying them any principal or interest on this thing. So you want to start out with that anyway. He says, well, I got to get interest. I says, well, we'll let it roll. We'll let it roll forward. How about I give you, what are you going to get in the bank? 1.5%? All right, I'll give you 1.5%. And let it carry on top of whatever the balance is. And when the note comes due and when it balloons, I owe you that amount plus 1.5% from the time of delivery, from the time of purchase. You're not going to go broke, believe me.
Gotcha.
You're only going to go broke if I sell your house and I sell or finance it. Look out. I'm just kidding. All right, man. How you doing? Okay, you got it?
Yeah, good stuff, definitely.
All right. Hey, who won that cowbell award there, Mr. Chambliss?
I haven't announced it yet, Coach Steve. So
oh boy,
I can't let the cat out of the bag.
I don't even know if I voted. Well, whatever.
It's too late now.
Too late now.
Only had like 8 weeks to get it in.
See that? That's what my first wife said. All right. All right. What else we got here tonight? Anything else?
I had sort of a conversation question on a situation.
What's up?
So one of the contracts that I have, so how do you go about in a regular purchase and sales cash deal? Okay, obviously my intentions are to assign it, but they don't know that. They think I'm buying it, right? So when I ask her, hey, I thought I'm buying this, you can take your ads down now. You can take down your Zillow ad or say it's pending or something. And she goes, oh, well, just in case this falls through, I just want a backup plan. I don't know what to say to that. Like, I thought you might have some.
You put inside your contract that this property's coming off the market. And that's how you get it off. You put it in your contract. So I don't want this house being marketed. But why not? What's the difference? If you want to market it, then I'm not your guy. Then I'm not buying it. Then. I mean, make up your mind. If I'm buying it, then I want to have the exclusive. That's it. We're done.
Yeah.
You know what? If I decide I want to sell it or rent it or burn it down after I get it, I can do what I want with it. But I want you taking this thing off the market. Well, why do you want that? I just told you why. If I'm buying it, I don't want it on the market for sale. And some people have a problem with that. Most people probably won't if you're sincere. And don't lead anybody down. Don't lie to anybody. So what are you going to do with this house, Sam? I don't know. If I get funding for the whole amount, I might even move into the damn thing. If I don't get funding for the whole amount, I might have to bring an investor in. If I can't get anyways close to the funding that I need to make this deal happen, I might just sell a contract to an just transfer it to somebody else, and you're going to close with them. But the only thing you have to be concerned with is you're going to closing, and it's going to be sold. That's it. Yeah. We're done. That's all you tell them. Now,
Beautiful.
listen, you don't care. You care about the semantics. Do you care who you close with? No. You know why? Because they're going to come to the bank. You're going to get that nice fat check. That's it. That's it. Be happy you
Right
got
on.
the fat check. Yeah, man. You know.
You're the man. Thank you.
What if they want to mark the house pending?
Look who's here. Look who snuck in the back door when nobody was looking. If they want to mark it as pending, let them mark it as pending. That's great. Now it's off the market. I'll go with that. That's fine. Pending. What do you think? I like that idea. What about it, Jerry?
I like it.
Is your
Yeah.
purchase price lower, obviously, than what's on Zillow then, or what's the scenario there, Vaughn?
On one of them, yes. On another one of them, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be some good deals, baby. All I want to see is checks. Come on, man.
I know. I'm trying, man.
All right. If you need some help, let us know.
Thank you. To be honest, I think they're kind of dead because one of them it was a land deal. She wanted 70,000. She said it appraised at 70,000. I offered her 40. She said yes. Got it under contract, purchase and sales. I've never done land before. I've never studied land before. But I'm looking around. I'm like, man, in Tennessee, like acres are going for like 1,300 an acre. You know, like 20,000 an acre is only 2 acres. I just didn't see the numbers adding up. And then and it's 56 views. Only one person contacted me about it, and then they never responded back.
Is this in an established neighborhood? Is it out in the middle of the side of a mountain? Where is it?
It's sort of established. I mean, there's still houses on that street. But
What are the houses
there's
selling for?
I couldn't remember.
Well, if a good seat of the pants number is about 15 to 20% of what the houses sell for.
Right.
The market value is about what the dirt's worth.
Right.
Usually.
No, I did all that, and then I found that I was way over target. After I had learned that. But here's the crazy thing. She comes back to me. She says, "Hey, I have somebody that's offering me full price cash," and
Sell it.
yeah, well. So I asked her like, hey, could we work something out where maybe do a memorandum or something, or I know we're under contract for 40, but what if we do something where you get 60 and I just assign it to them. If you found the buyer, let me just assign it to them, and then it could be a win-win for everybody. She says no, if I go with them, I'm gonna have all 70,000.
How long is your contract good for?
Like 22 more days.
I forget. She's got you. Never mind. She made the money. That's it. Next.
Yeah.
But you know what? You got a contract. You did good. You did good. You never did well. You never did a land deal.
No, I think I am
So-
never gonna do a land deal.
Don't
it's-
say that. Don't say that. There's a lot of money to be made on dirt, man. A lot of money, especially now when you go outside these cities. You go to these small towns that are outside the cities, and you're going to see all of a sudden. Watch for building in big areas, then go around and see what you can do to pick up small plots that are along the main highways, and that'd be perfect for someone who wants to put up a small shopping center or something like that, or shut its chain stores or whatever. You're always going to want Verizon's going to want to do something to your cellular companies, food companies. People still got to eat, so you'll find homes for that kind of stuff, especially in those kinds of areas. But all you do is go in, and what they do on most big commercial deals are they'll just go in the door and sprinkle a couple of bucks on the table and say, I want the option to own this property for 5 years, 2 years, whatever it is. Because on commercial, it takes a while to get all the permits through and everything that has to be done. And then it's going to take a while for your buyer to go ahead and get all his financing and all set,
So see, so land segues into more than just residential then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I feel like because I'm a beginner and I'm so new, I probably shouldn't have even considered trying to do anything with this lady because I'm new and maybe I should just, keep it simple, stupid sort of deal.
You did well.
I don't
You
think
did
you-
well.
Yeah, I don't think you messed up here, man.
Nope.
You threw it up against the wall and it didn't stick. That's okay though. Land, single family residences, all of them can be tough to evaluate. Okay, we try to get comps. We try to figure out what valuations are. It's hard. Some properties are even more difficult than others, and maybe even close to impossible. So, you took a stab at it. I know that for a fact there's at least two or three people in the room right now who have recently done land deals in neighborhoods and made like, 5, 10, 15, 20 grand on them or whatever. So don't take one bad experience like that and blame yourself or think that entire aspect of real estate is now probably taboo for you. Okay, don't assume that, because I think you did perfect, man. It just happened that way. You
Not
got an
only that-
education.
Not only that, you're doing better than a lot of people that go on these calls.
Yeah.
You stepped out of your comfort zone and you made something happen, and you weren't even sure about where you were going. And that's cool. They call it balls. Thank you. Right? There you go.
Thank you.
That's it. That's it. We got the preacher man on here tonight. He's listening in the background. But he's done some land deals. He was in the middle of doing one he was telling us last week about converting something over to some self-storage. It was a big house with some property in the back. I don't know if we can get Victor on here, but I wonder how he's doing with that. But we got quite a crowd on here tonight. Not bad. Not bad.
Coach Nick did a
Hey,
land
guys.
deal recently. Coach Victor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple of land deals right now that I'm looking at. I'm having a little bit of trying to see how I'm gonna pay for the surveys. I don't want to come out of pocket on them, so I'm trying to figure out how I can get these surveys done. I got a buyer, but the buyer wants, the survey done, and I'm like, I'm not paying for it.
Are you putting the whole deal together with the architect and the engineers and all that?
No, I just want to get the deal under contract and move the contract. I'm not really trying to do the whole, nine.
Because there's guys out there that'll just do that, and they'll give a percentage to the engineer and the architect and whatever it is. They get a percentage of the deal rather than them getting cash up front. So,
I don't necessarily want to play that game. I got too many irons in the fire right now to really kind of, deal with all that at the moment.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. All right.
I
Well,
got
good
this.
luck,
The
man.
property you're referring to, though, that's going good. I'm still in that property right now. I'm sitting in the house right now, as a matter of fact.
Cool.
So I'm getting the flooring and everything done. I got a bunch of stuff going on with it. Just got all the contracts. It took about 3 weeks to just get the people to come out and do the work. It's crazy because it's hard to get contractors and all that stuff, but everybody came out. Everybody's out this week. Today got the upstairs carpets. On Monday got the flooring putting in, got the power wash and all that stuff going down. So it's ready to go now, and I'm having a really good time enjoying this slow paced community and kind of getting the lay of the land. I'm actually falling in love a little bit. I'm like, shit, I like it. I like it here more than I like it at home. Yeah,
sounds like trouble.
I'm becoming a small town guy.
Is there a female involved in that anywhere, Coach Victor?
No, but there's a few around.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. I'm doing something tomorrow. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of relining pipes. You actually shoot plastic.
Yeah, that's when you go in and put the lining on the inside.
Man, I got a house. I'm down here in Florida. And
Okay.
Down here, there's such problems with pipes that are in the soil. It's not even soil; it's like sand.
Yeah.
So now I'm looking at one house of mine that's about 50 years old, and the pipe runs from diagonally from one corner of the house to the other one, and that's where the sewer line starts. Oh, it's so stupid, right? So instead of me spending $12,000-$14,000 and throwing the tenants out, having to break the floor and do all that. I says, well, you know what? I brought in this guy and he's going to reline the pipes tomorrow. So I've never done it. I mean, I'm not doing it myself. I want to watch this get done. And,
So there's no breaks in the pipe, and there's no drop off between the connections, right?
what I've got is I've got holes.
Oh yeah, holes are fine as long as the holes are fine because the reline is going to fill the holes. If you have off center, like if they're dropping in different places, that's when the reline doesn't work at all. But if you just have holes, it's a great fix.
He ran the camera from front to back on this thing, and what I've got is I've actually got the bottom of the pipes where they're in the soil. They're actually rotted. I got sections that are a foot long. Whoa!
Yeah.
And I got roots.
Yeah.
You know, these people everybody love having trees and bushes on top of your house. Yeah, they go right after the sewer lines. I don't care where you are. So they got to find water. So much for that. Yeah. Anyway.
So you got to make sure. Are you going to keep that house?
I'm going to sell or finance this bastard as soon as I get this thing.
Oh, okay,
done.
yeah, because you got to make sure that you inform them that they can no longer run the typical plumbing snake and stuff into that line pipe. Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
They'll rip that up in good shape. Yeah, that's
It'll
for sure.
rip it up.
Well, you know, I had the guy with the Roto-Rooter going through there, and he was coming up with sections of steel that were 4 or 5 inches long. So I don't know what that is, but I finally got through it. I go, he wound up pushing it through the other end of the pipe. And I'm looking, the pieces are coming out that are 5-6 inches long. I went, what the hell is this? It's from the Roto-Rooter guys. All right, so we're talking about a home improvement department here right now, and we're going to go back to talking about putting deals together. But hey, thanks for coming on, man. You're the man.
Yeah, man.
You are the man. Yeah. So, anybody got any questions for us here before we start wrapping things up? I got 20 after 10 on the East Coast here. Questions, answers. We got a lot of new people on here tonight, I can see. And I think Justin is taking a siesta right now, so that's all right. Who we got on? There he is.
I'm here.
So we got Vernon, who's always on. We got Vaughn. Vaughn, have you met the preacher man? Have you met Vernon?
Yeah, finally got to say hi to him last week. Yes.
Okay, he brought you on. Victor brought you on, and you guys tossed the ball around about talking on the phone.
I don't think I've gone to his phone Zooms yet. No.
Victor, this guy's gonna scare you. This kid's on fire. That's what I call you, kid.
I feel like no, that's fine. I get that all the time. I feel like I'm got the gift of gab, you know. So but I'm still learning this. You know, I'm extremely new and I'm not the best yet.
You need to take the time and go to these seminars, meetings that Victor and Mark do.
I would love to. I'm always working. I work 10 hours a day.
Just quit your job. That's all you got to do. Just quit.
I would love to do that.
I got you. I hear you. Well, listen to his calls at night. When you get home, listen to the calls at night. If you're just listening to them, it'll give you a great depth as to what's going on. You really will. You know, I highly recommend them. All right. So listen to him. And he's the man on the telephone. Beat the living shit out of me. All right. Who else we got in there? We got Victor, Vernon, Nicholas, Vaughn Cross, Mag, Joe. I don't know who Joe Lamoureux. I don't know who Joe is. Jerry Smith, Hervek, we know. We got somebody, Austin, on. And Aaron and Adrian DeHaro. And, of course, Minor Golf. Who is that? That's our friend.
Larry.
There he is, Larry. All right, Larry. Of course, we have Justin on. And we got some people on YouTube. Any more questions on YouTube?
No question.
Hey, Steve, do you think it would make sense or be advantageous to split the lot and make it the residential, one side residential zoning, and then rezone the commercial side? Do you think that would be beneficial in any way?
I think it's more beneficial to get the residential side that you've got there zone commercial.
Okay, zone commercial now.
So yeah, just leave it, man.
Okay, cool.
Leave it. Yeah,
I was thinking the same thing, but I wasn't positive.
It's got to be worth more money as commercial. I would think.
It is.
And somebody can move in the door if they're going to do this thing with this. You were talking about the storage.
Yeah, the storage. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, you're making an obscene amount of money with that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to bring Mitch Stevens on. I'm going to bring Mitch Stevens on probably in September or October. He does a lot of self-storage, and he builds stuff now from scratch. So you'll enjoy his call, and he does all seller financing. He's his own bank. That's what he does. So the guys are friends of mine, and he could make the Pope curse, this guy. So he does a good job. He's entertaining.
Yeah.
So
cool. Look forward to it.
It's all good, man. So probably September, October. We talked, and that's probably the best time after the summer is over. So, all right, guys. Anybody else got any last words before we conk out and run out of gas here? No. Jerry, thanks for coming on, man. And the preacher man, you the best. You the best in California there. We didn't see tonight. We didn't see Ken. What happened to Ken? He's our resident realtor. That's okay. Well, they were going to call it a night. Justin, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, man. I think we're going to call it a night. And
right.
Thank you for your support and your help. And
Thank you,
everybody, if you bring in one new member a month, we can grow this thing tremendous.
Yeah.
Tremendous. All right.
We ought to do that.
Work on that. One person a month, not a lot. You guys, I'm out. Have a great night. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Coach Steve. Thank you, everybody.
Talk to you again. You guys take care. Bye.